in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the second instalment of the What's New in SolidCAM series of webinars that we're doing. Second and final one. We'll do something different next weekend. Next Friday. First of all, let me apologise for the delay in today's webinar. We had some technical difficulties at 9:30. I don't know quite what was going on, but it wouldn't let me play. And when it eventually did, everyone had logged off, so I had no audience. Anyway, here we are, 11 o'clock. My name is Les Bolan, by the way, for those of you who've not attended these webinars before, and I'm one of the technical engineers here at SolidCAM in the UK. And what I'm going to do today is show you a quick demonstration of a few little niceties that's been added in to SolidCAM 2014, little enhancements as I like to call them. Not earth-shatteringly massive developments, just as I say, little enhancements that just help your daily programming life that little bit easier. Some of the strategies are in the geometry selection. The way we select geometry has been improved or changed to a degree. Transforms, the way we transform toolpath is the location of it's been changed. It's been included now within the technology rather than coming outside of it and going into the CAM tree. You can do it from within the operation. And the enhancements, further toolbox cycles have now been added to the toolbox cycle. I think it's something that people forget that's there, the toolbox cycles. It's quite a handy little set of strategies to use, and I would encourage anybody who's got 2.5D milling to familiarise yourself fully with the toolbox cycles, because there's lots of things in there that are pretty much like shortcuts. If you're not doing something that's really complex, before you go to a profiling strategy or a pocketing strategy, have a quick look at what's in the profiles in the cycles to help you out a little bit. But I'll be dealing with a couple of 2 or 3 of the new ones that's been added in there. Okay, first thing I'm going to look at, seeing as I've got it open already, this particular model. This is something I just lashed up in earlier on. It's transform. So all I'm going to do is a circular pocket operation, or I might even do a profiling operation, and then transform it. In the old way, we would have to come out of the operation and selected it separately, but now we can do it from within the operation. So I'll set off doing the new operation. So I'm going to add a milling operation here, and it's I'll just do a profile because it's quick and easy rather than doing a pocket. Okay, first of all, create my new geometry, which is going to be around there. That's okay, yeah, that's the direction I want it to be in as well, so that's handy. Quickly select the tool, create one because I've got nothing in here. Oops, where's my cursor gone? Okay, just select an end mill, 10 mil diameter, select. That's okay. Just quickly do this. Just check my geometry lines here, and that's where my tool is. Another little thing that's been added in here. I'll just show you. If I was to change this geometry somehow, I'll change the shift value. So I'll put it over here somewhere. Just to change that. Save that. Oh no, it hasn't done it on that particular thing. Let me just, I can't really change it on put an offset on instead. There we go. When you change the geometry now, there's a little icon appears. As we mentioned last week, if any of you were watching last week's one on the pocketing module, there's when you change the geometry now, there's a little icon appears, a little pencil line. And it tells you, it's just to tell you that it has been changed for one reason or another, you know. So you've got to, you just so that you're aware that it has been changed. or anybody following you who's you know, there may be more than one programmer, they can see there that easily that has been changed. Okay, that's just another little feature that's been added in, one of these little things. Okay, this is a profile. I've just realised it's going to wrap it down. I should have done a pocket there after all, but never mind. You can see, you get the idea. So I've saved and calculated that now, and now we can have a look at our toolpath. I'll not simulate it, but there's our toolpath on that one operation. Now the objective of this exercise is to do a transform on all three of them pockets. They're all the same size. So as I said previously, where's my cursor keeps flying off. Previously, and you still can, by the way, you right click on there, click on transform, and there's your transform information that you would do. But now you don't have to do that. If you know you're going to do a transform anyway, and you're in the operation, you've got this little icon here, and that's transformation, and it's there on the left hand side all the time, so you can access it from within the operation. It's the exact same thing that happens. You just give it a translation, number of copies 2 on the X step of 60. Okay, actually that's not correct. All right, 60. Sorry about this. Okay, save and calculate. There's just the second one there. I always get mixed up as to whether it includes the original operation. Some it does, some it doesn't. It depends on what it is that you're doing. 3. Okay, save and calculate, and there you have it. Your three circles transformed across there from within the operation. Simple and quick thing to show you, but there you go. It's that's what that little is. If you've not noticed, if you've already got 14 and you didn't see what that is, there you have it. I'm just taking a sip of tea. My throat's a bit dry today. Okay. And by the way, whilst we're on talking about new things that's in SolidCAM 2014, if we quickly look at the SolidCAM website, go to solidcam.com, on the right hand side down here there's a little downloadable PDF or PowerPoint presentation here of what's new in SolidCAM. So you can go on the website there, just click on that, download it, and it takes you through a few, well, everything that's been added really, more features than I'm showing you here. I'm just picking out the ones that I think are interesting and useful in everyday life. There's a few more things that's on there that you may find that are of interest to yourself, so I recommend that you go online and download that little PDF there if you haven't done so already. Okay, that's our transform little cycle there. Also, what I'm going to do whilst I'm in this menu, I'll just delete that little thing now. I'm just going to have a look at a toolbox cycle that I think is quite an interesting thing to do. So I'll just go into there now, add a milling operation, and it's a toolbox cycle. I'll just drop my menu down to the one I want. There's a nice little one that's been added here, spiral pocket. I like that. I think it might have already been in from 13 actually, but I just, whilst I was on here, I thought I'd make you aware that to keep checking your toolbox cycles for things that do get added in there. And this is a simple little strategy. All you do is pick it shows you on the toolbox cycles on the graphic as to what the geometry needs to be picked, which is the circle there, the top circle, but it could be the bottom, I don't think it matters. And this is what it's going to do. It's going to do a spiral. It doesn't show you very well actually on that graphic, but that's what it's going to do. So all I'm going to do here is pick that circle there, pick my tool again. I'll pick the same one, saves time. Levels, upper and lower. Technology, same as the pocket, well, very similar to the pocketing strategy that already exists. So you give it a step down. What we've got here now, because it's a spiral, we've got spiral cuts. And you can tell it to cut it by an engagement angle, a minimum maximum engagement angle, or a step over. So you may want a minimum or maximum step over angle that it spirals between, and it decides how it's going to do that depending on the amount of cuts it's got to make, and etc., and the diameter of the cutter. And so there's your minimum and maximum. You can decide whether you want to finish the wall or not and offset it accordingly. We'll just go straight to size, I think. So save and calculate. Let me just start looking motion control. That's just the sorry. There's no link in here. Sorry, there's no link to arc in, arc out, or it just does it automatically. Helicals down. So save and calculate that. And let's have a look at our tool path that's been generated for that. And there we are. It's helically milling down the centre of that pocket and then spiralling out, as you can see, in two cuts there as we put in. So I'll solid verify this so that we can see what it's doing. It's going a bit slow at the moment for the helical. I'll just zoom up slightly on that. There we go. It's helically milling down. Just trying not to make it go too fast when it pockets. Still moving in Z. Once it gets down to 5, there it goes. It's spiraling out to. Let me just do it again. Trying to get it quick on it before it rapids. It's 8 millimeters down, 9 millimeters down. There, it's just about to start spiraling out now. There it goes. So it's just spiraling, constant feed, constant tool pressure action on the tool there, which is kinder to the tool than stepping over. I dare say this may well be added to the pocketing strategy at some point, the spiral option, but at present it's not in the spiral option. And once again, in the Toolbox Cycle, you've still got the option to do the transform from within the operation, so we could still do the same thing as we did earlier on with our profiling strategy. And there you are. There's your tool path for each of them 3 pockets in a spiraling strategy, which I think is a very handy thing to do. Okay, that's the end of the of this little particular exercise. I'll move on now to the geometry selection exercise that I have lined up for you. So I'll move on to another CAM part here. Where am I? This one here. Now, for those of you that have been here on any training before, you may have seen this particular model. It's something that we use on the 5-axis exercises. Excuse me a minute. Just have another cup of tea. Sip of tea rather. Okay, on here we've got various contours that we're going to be machining with various strategies. The first thing I'm going to show you is a HSS strategy, and the way we can now pick our features by the colour of them features. So first of all, in here, in HSS, machining strategy. So I've already started. This is just to save calculation time, so that it won't take long, but it just saves calculation time. So all I've done here in my geometry, my drive surface faces 5. I'll just quickly show you that. Is these top faces here, and I'm just going to machine them in a linear fashion, so you don't need a geometry line to pick, so you're just picking the surfaces. So I'll quickly re-pick them surfaces to show you how I did it. And this is especially handy if you can get your design department or whoever does the modelling to colour certain surfaces for you. Then you can pick things by colour. If you've got things that different colours all over the place, it helps you pick the geometry, especially on 5-axis work where it can be quite complex, quite time consuming to pick all the different facets and faces that make up the contour that you want to machine. So what I've done here, I've coloured all the tops of these faces with the same colour, and to choose that I'm just going to pick from the model, click on that colour there, and then tell it to find the faces, and there it has. It's found all them faces that are that colour. They all are listed here, all 39 of them. So yes, thank you very much. That is the faces I wanted. Quick save and calculate. And we can have a look at our toolpath now on that. So it's found all them surfaces and machined them accordingly, which depending on how you like to model things up or how your models are, you can add some colour to them, colour your life in, and use it to select your geometry. Makes life a heck of a lot easier than having to click on all of them faces there. Now in this particular exercise, obviously that I could have picked all of them and then just done the transform as I have been doing earlier, but you can see that if I wanted to machine 3 separate areas of a part in the same method, then it's just a matter of having everything the same colour. It's just an added feature that I think might be handy to some people. Okay, I'll move on to the next object on here. Now this is one that I like, a new added feature. I've been waiting for them to add this in for ages, and they've done it, so it's great. Now let's have a look and see what I'm talking about. I'm just going to do a 5-axis operation on this part here. It doesn't have to be a 5-axis operation, of course, but it just happens to be that I've chosen that method. What I'm on about is the way we select the faces and the edge curve for this contour. Let me show you what I mean. My faces, once again, I'll quickly show you the faces that I'm talking about. It's this edge face here. Once again, it's chosen by colour, so I'll quickly choose it again. Pick from model, and I'm looking at anything that's that colour. Find faces, bingo, it's found all them faces, and once again there they all are listed. Look here, all them little faces. So I haven't had to click on all of them. I mean, whoever chose the colour of it had to click on them all, but I didn't in the programming operation. So I've just had to click on the one colour, and there we are. It's found all them faces. Now this is the nice thing. The edge curve that I'm using, I'll just show you the edge curve that I've chosen, is this curve at the bottom of the contour there, at the bottom of them faces, and we'll now select them. Now previously, before the 2014 came out, to select that geometry line you would have to click all the way along each one, because there's no way of really defining it correctly. But I'm going to close that down and go back into it. Now what we have is something called curve propagation. So if I was to click on that there, it's going the other way around, but never mind, I could flip it. We have curve propagation. I click on that now. it finds its way all the way around, and then it's giving me the OK to accept. So it's found that all the way around. It's a nice little addition, is this, because sometimes it can be a pain in the butt having to click on all the little lines all the way around just to make sure it goes the right way. What it's got now, it's got a little bit of a intelligence behind it, where it's thinking as to where the most likely direction is going to be. So it can go around here. It reckons that it's not going to go up there because it's too far out of its built-in parameter. So it's going to go in a nearer direction to where it's already coming from. So it can second guess which contour it is that you're going to pick. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't always get it right, and it can give you an incorrect geometry line, and you do have to go and pick it, but it works more often than not. So for my point of view, it's a worthy addition, if you like, to the package, because you'll use it successfully more often than not. I'll just save and calculate that. This may take a while, actually. The object of this exercise isn't actually to show you the 5-axis toolpath, it's to show you how we pick the geometry. But as you can see, and I've already put a transform in there. I'd forgot I'd done that, but yeah, that's our geometry. And if you didn't know already, you do your transforms. It's already built into the 5-axis and the HSS strategies, where you do your rotate and translate from within the menu there in the roughing and more tab. It's all in there. So I did a rotate and translation in there already. Okay, that's that little thing. I'm hoping you find that that's useful. That's a little curve propagation. May save some of you a little bit of time. Okay. By the way, if you do have any questions about any of these, please use the hands up function on the menu on the left hand side here, and please ask a question. I'll check at the end of the webinar if anyone's asked any questions, and I'll try my best to answer them this time. I mean, I don't know if anyone was here last week. I couldn't see them, but you can always email me at les@solidcamuk.com, and I shall get back to you with an appropriate answer, hopefully. Okay, I'm going to move on now to the next set of exercises, which was Toolbox Cycles once again. I'm going to move into open another part here. I believe it's this one. Yep, there we go. So we've had a few little things added to our Toolbox Cycles here. I'll just quickly go through a few of them. I know your time is precious. We've been 20 minutes already, so I'm hoping that it will last about another 10 minutes this, and then you can get back to whatever it was that you were doing beforehand. Okay, one really big addition that's been added to the Toolbox Cycles is mainly aimed at the woodworking industry. There's more and more companies use SolidCAM now for the woodworking industry, and one thing that's on a woodworking machine is a saw. So we've added a little toolbox cycle that is a sawing operation. So I'll show you how that works. Basically, it's a saw off, end cut. It cut the end of your piece of wood off, or MDF, or whatever it is that you've got on your machine bed. So the strategy, as in any toolbox cycle, the little icons here. First one shows you where your geometry line is, and the second one shows you what it does. But obviously, in this case, it's exactly the same in icon. Okay, so yeah, you get the gist of that. You pick the top line there, and it saws it off. Okay, just show you the piece that I'm working on here. I'll show you the contour. As you can see, it's this little yellow rectangle or square shaped piece that's there. I'll zoom up on that for you, and you can see there's our contour that we've already chosen. Our tool, quickly look at that for you, and it's predefined as this type of tool. You know, in a cycle it picks it for you already. All you've got to do is put the dimensions of that sawing tool in there. Now I can see this coming in handy for certain types of metal machining operations as well. But it's a very quick and simple toolbox cycle for just sawing an end off. So there's our tool, and here it is, you know, in 3D on the part. So once again, our levels: upper level of top of the piece, bottom level of the bottom of the piece. I dare say you probably want a delta in reality, just to make sure you've gone completely through the part. Technology, you just in there you just tell it what side of the tool of the line you're machining on, and your first step down, 6mm in this case, and you've got an extension here of beyond the start and end point of the length of the geometry line that you've picked, just to make sure you're not ramming down straight into the top of the piece of wood. And we've got a value of 60% of the tool. You can put a value in there if you so desire, and that's it. I don't need to save and calculate it because I haven't done anything. This has already been done. So if we have a quick look at our tool path, I think you can guess what it's going to look like. There we have two lines there. First one 6mm down, second one at the finished depth, and I can quickly simulate that for you, and you can see what that looks like. So the tool comes down, goes down to 6mm, zing, off it goes, back up, down again, and across. So that's our piece of wood cut off as you'd want it. Okay, that's a quick and easy toolbox cycle there that helps the chaps in woodworking. Another little toolbox cycle that I think you may be interested in is the way we enter a slot, an open slot. Previously, well, even existing now, you can go into an open slot. When you do an open slot, you just approach it from the outside with the full width of the cutter, the centre of the cutter line, and machine through in the traditional manner. But there's a new option now being added, which is called the roll into open slot method. So if I quickly open the cycle here, you can roll into the open slot, and once again the top icon shows you the geometry lines that you need to pick to create the operation, and the bottom icon shows you the tool path that's going to be generated from that. So let's just quickly look through the technology. I'm not going to go into it. It's pretty straightforward. We've got our tool, our end mill, which is the same size as the slot, I think, in this occasion. We've got our levels, and we've got our technology, and we have an approach distance here from our initial tool path. So we have an approach distance there, which is like a lead in, and we have an extension value beyond the end of the slot. The graphic there simulates, it shows you exactly what it's for, so it's pretty straightforward. But the idea behind the strategy, and I'll just look at the tool path now. I'll just highlight this. I hope I'm not making you seasick by moving this model around too much. You can see now the tool path here, and it rolls in to the center of the slot and machines through it. This is what a lot of tool manufacturers now are recommending to do with tooling. Rather than plunge straight into a straight line, they like you to roll in gently and gently increase the loading of the tool, rather than feeding straight in and loading the tool quite suddenly. I'll simulate this. Oh, sorry, it's not calculated. Okay, I'll simulate this now. If we go down to depth, you'll see that our tool is now approaching the corner edge of that pocket, or slot rather, on the center line of the tool. It then feeds into it, and the next thing it's going to do is arc in, roll around into the slot to the center line of the cutter, So that in that action, it's gradually increasing, rolling into the slot, gradually increasing the tool pressure and not suddenly shock loading the tool, which obviously is going to be kinder for the tool and the machine, to be honest. Okay, so that's a new strategy you may be interested in. I'm even more quickly, I appreciate it's 11:30 now, and you've probably got a nice cream cake and cup of tea waiting for you somewhere. I'll quickly move on to a few of the other cycles that are very similar. We also have the the rolled into a closed slot option, and I'll just click on the tool path there to show you. It's done in exactly the same way. You can go around and do the into the closed slot, and then go around and do the finish. And I'll quickly show you the technology there, which is pretty much exactly the same as we've just seen, and it's a predefined technology, just as you'd expect. You pick the top line there, and it rolls into the center, and then rolls around the outside in the predefined way. Next one, we've got a rib cut, which now allows you to offset the geometry to a certain depth, certain size, so you can cut along the center of a rib with one tool, with the tool. Sometimes obviously the tool's wide enough, you can do that. That's a nice little addition. And another one that I think is quite a handy thing is this little one here, which is where am I? This one here, and this is our cylinder angle strategy. This might be a quick and easy thing to do with your machining in 2.5D. Remember, this is 2.5D we're talking about, so not a 3D operation. If you wanted to create an angle, you would have to put a draft angle or something on an existing contour. This just makes life easy if you need to cut across the end of something like this. And so the geometry line is as just demonstrated there by that graphic, and the tool path is here on the left hand side, showing you what it's going to do. So all I've done here, obviously pick my tool, pick my levels. Technology, once again, exactly the same as previous. You pick your step down and you pick your step over. You decide whether you're going in one direction or you're going to zigzag, and that's it. And let's have a look at our tool path that's been created there. There's our levels, 4mm levels, and you can see the step over. It knows where the curve line is, so it knows how far it needs to step over. So at the top of the curve, where the step overs need to be more, you've got your 5 or 6 step overs there, and it gradually reduces to just the one step over at the bottom there. And I'll quickly simulate that so you can see what I mean. The stock on here, oops, I've already got a predefined one there. Let me just let me use the other one. What I did was I changed on the example that I had. For some reason, they'd created a second Mac position, which is in line with the center of the cylinder, and I just wanted to make sure that the strategy didn't need to use that, which it doesn't. I mean, I've put it back to the Mac 1 for the little thing that I showed you there. So this, I don't know why they've created a second Mac position on this particular example, but there it is. But what I'm going to do is just once again simulate that for you, and you can see what it's doing. So it comes down. Let me just zoom up a little bit so you can see. It comes down and creates the first level of cuts there towards the edge of that curve. You can see the yellow lines just as it's just touched the face there. And there's the next step, and there's the so on and so forth till it works its way down to the bottom level there. So there you are. You can see quite clearly what that's done. It's stepped down at the step levels you've told it to, and created that little roughed out angle there. Obviously that's stepped out. You probably want to finish that so you can run the same cycle again but with a much closer step down value to get closer to form. Another little handy cycle. Okay, that's been 35 minutes now of me waffling on about everything. Now it's your turn to ask any questions if you so wish. And looking at the questions here, I don't have any questions asked, so I'm assuming that was all straightforward and clear for you. Don't forget that on the website, solidcam.com website, you can go on there and download that little PDF or PowerPoint presentation, whichever format it's in, and see for yourself what are the new little niceties that's been added in SolidCAM 2014. Okay. Once again, if you do have any questions, you can email me direct at les@solidcamuk.com. Thank you very much for attending, and once again, apologies for the lateness of this webinar due to some sort of technical difficulty that I still don't understand. And I will hopefully catch you on the next webinar. Thank you very much, and have a good weekend. Bye-bye.